Hello gang, welcome back to day 5 of Starladder Season 7. I'm Zyori from Dota Radio. Flying solo today, my co-caster couldn't make it unfortunately, but here we are, only 3 matches today and we're on match number 2. Here we have Virtus.Pro facing off against Team Power Rangers. We saw Power Rangers yesterday, and unfortunately they were plagued with lag issues throughout the match, and that did hinder their ability to play well. So hopefully they've cleared up the bit of lag issues that they have, and they will be able to play nicely in this match. So let's go ahead and take a look at the picks and bans. They are underway very quickly here. We're going to have Power Rangers on our Radiant side and Virtus.Pro on our Dire side. So our Dire team of Virtus.Pro going to be throwing out first bans on Weaver and Visage, and Power Rangers going to be throwing out their first bans on the Outworld Devourer as well as Alchemist. So that will open up for a Bat Rider first pick here for Team Power Rangers. No big surprise there. The dreaded Bat Rider. He's scary in the jungle. He's scary in the mid lane. There's just no slowing him down once he gets started. Virtus.Pro also going to start off with some interesting picks. First pick, Abaddon. We've seen that a few times, and I can't say that I'm surprised. He's been quite the powerful hero, the irritant in the side of his opponents, and they're also going to pick up a Wisp here as well. Be curious to see what Virtus.Pro decides to do with compliments to this Wisp, but I have to think that Lifestealer is going to be an option here in this game, just because that mobility moving him around, and he is not banned as of yet. The fourth pick here of the match, second pick for Team Power Rangers. They're going to grab an anti-mage, and it's actually uncommon for us to see a hard carry picked up this early on in the draft. It does reveal a bit more of your hand. You know exactly what anti-mage is doing. You know that he's going to be the hard carry. You pretty much know he's going to be in a tri-lane. And you just usually don't want to reveal your hand that way. Power Rangers was with an interesting drafting choice, nonetheless. So I'm going to be a little worried here. I think Doom may be a very valued pick for Virtus.Pro in this game. It's that ultimate is a great effective counter to anti-mage. And of course, Orchids as well work very nicely to help slow down the power of the anti-mage. Power Rangers going to throw out 2 interesting bans, Chaos Knight as well as Ursa Warrior. Going to be the 2 banned here, and both just sort of strange because Chaos Knight has not been getting a lot of love in this tournament. Perhaps they're worried about the classic Chaos Knight Wisp combo, which is certainly viable here, so I can see the motivation behind that ban. Ursa as well. They're just trying not to pair somebody with that Wisp, even though Ursa is not a very popular pickup here. Virtus.Pro, though, they're going to keep Power Rangers on the edge of their seat, as they do not reveal their draft too easily here with Abaddon and Io. Virtus.Pro going to throw their 3rd and 4th bans on the Spirit Breaker as well as the Timber Saw, both very scary heroes in their own right. We've seen some Spirit Breaker play, and generally to a fair degree of success, charging all over the place, getting those bashes. He can be a rough hero to tangle with. Timber Saw falling into the same category. We've seen him a little bit, and every game he's had a huge impact. Darkseer, though, going to be that 3rd pick for Virtus.Pro, so they've got their supports on lockdown. Darkseer, Io, and Abaddon. So we can only guess that will be an off-lane Darkseer, Abaddon, and Io in the tri-lane down bottom, so that leaves them needing a very strong mid, as well as their carry, their lovely, scary carry, as it may be. And one of the great things about Darkseer, I mean, we all know Darkseer, he's a classic, he's a staple Dota 2 pickup, but one of the things about Darkseer that's so great is he's very versatile. We see him sometimes in the mid lane, sometimes in the off lane. We've even seen him just in a little bit of a tri-lane action. So Virtus.Pro doing a great job not revealing what they want to do. You know, they could always throw him in the mid if you know, they run into a bit of a sticky wicket there. Power Rangers, 3rd pick is going to be the Treant Protector. So I know if my co-caster was here right now, he'd be going, oh, God, I hate the Treant Protector. And I can understand why he would say such things. Treant is a very, very passive hero. You know, with the Nature's Guys and the Living Armor, he's just a very passive. He sort of encourages that, just, all right, we're going to stay in the lane, I'm going to give you some extra regen, and we're just going to farm. He's not a ganker, he's just a staple mid-lane hero. So, Treant Protector, just not the exciting pick that we always hope to see. I'll be curious to see where they lane him. I don't think we've seen him yet in this Starladder tournament. So it should be interesting. I see someone in chat saying somebody from Power Rangers already getting disconnected. So it could be another lag-filled game. So we could have a weird game here, guys, pending the Power Rangers lag issues. Virtus.Pro, 4th pick, will be a Gyrocopter. So they're going to reveal their hand a little bit here finally, and going to be interesting. We don't really think of Gyrocopter and Wisp as a particularly potent duo in terms of other combinations with the Wisp. Not quite that iconic Wisp Chaos Knight that we've come to know as well. And again, this is a pick that's a little bit flexible. We've seen Gyrocopter in a solo safe lane before. We could still see him in kind of that off lane on the Dire side, and then still do a try down in their bottom long lane. Very, very possible. They could put Darkseer in the mid and still take a hard carry here if they wanted to. A lot of options. I do want to point out also that Lifestealer still has not been banned this game. One ban left for each team, but Lifestealer is still a viable option here. So Power Rangers with Bat Rider, Anti-Mage, and Treant Protector waiting on their 4th pick right here. They're going to move into their reserve time, putting a lot of thought and deliberation into what they want to do. Furion also still on the board, and he's not banned or picked. I'm actually surprised. They're going to go with a Lesh. Leshrac going to be the 4th pick here, and I am excited to see Leshrac in this match. Treant and Lesh, 2 heroes we have yet to see in this season of Starladder, and I love Lesh. One of my absolute favorite heroes. He's a classic. He's an iconic staple of what Dota 2 means to me. I'm always happy to see some Leshrac action. That Diabolic Edict is just an amazing ability. It really is. I think that may be my favorite spell in the game. I will be honest. The damage that it does, the variety of being able to push, the mixture of damage it does. Oh lordy, mixed damage to enemy units and structures, magic and physical. Ooh, is that deadly. So I see someone in chat guessing Tiny. I like it. I don't know. Virtus.Pro could do a Tiny here if they wanted to pair that with the IO. Last bans are underway now. It's in the bucket of Virtus.Pro, and they're going to break into their reserve time here. Only about 20 seconds left on their reserve counter, and they're going to throw it on the Naga Siren. Definitely a good choice. Always a scary hero to deal with. We've really been seeing Naga Siren more in that support role recently. So if they were trying to set up a tri-lane, a Lesh, Naga Siren, and Anti-Mage tri would be very scary. That sets up for very powerful Lesh stuns. You throw the ensnare, easy peasy, split earth. And yeah, that's a killer tri-lane right there if I've ever seen one. A good ban from Virtus.Pro, but there's still plenty of other scary tri-lane heroes. Jakiro could fit in here very nicely if they do want to do a kill tri-lane with that Lesh. Also, a Vengeful Spirit might not be bad here. We don't see Venge too often these days, but in terms of an aggressive kill tri-lane, if that's what they wanted to go for, certainly what Virtus.Pro appears to be scared of here. That Sure Stun mixed with the skill shot of Split Earth could prove to be a deadly combo to put Virtus.Pro on their toes. Last ban of the game is going to be Storm Spirit coming out from Power Rangers. So it looks like they just don't want to deal with that scary mid-hero. Perhaps they were watching the last game and just observed the amount of power that Storm Spirit has if he has a good time in the mid lane. Always a powerful mid, not a bad ban. Last picks are underway, though. Virtus.Pro with that 5th pick, about 15 seconds left of reserve time. They're taking all the time in the world here, really putting a lot of thought into it, and they're actually going to go with a Puck last pick, so it's not going to be that Tiny. They will put Puck in the middle. I'm going to guess Darkseer in that off lane, and Abaddon, EO, and Gyrocopter are going to be in the bottom. That will be my best guess for laning for Virtus.Pro, and that's actually a pretty standard lineup. Nothing too crazy about that, but the great thing about their draft is we didn't know it until the very end. We weren't sure who was going to be mid until we saw that Puck secured, and of course, now we know, but great drafting techniques there on our Dire side. Last pick coming out for Team Power Rangers. They've got 50 seconds of reserve time left, so they can think about it quite a bit here. They've got Bat Rider, Anti-Mage, Treant Protector, and Leshrac, and their last pick, who knows? I still think it's going to be a support for that tri-lane. Which support they want, though, is up to them. Still a lot of options. I'm guessing it's going to be a Jakiro, just based on how their picks are a little more off the wall. Leshrac and Treant Protector. I'm going to have to shut my door real quickly. Jakiro, not quite the popular pick that he once was, but still a very powerful hero in his own right, of course. 20 seconds left on reserve time. Power Rangers following, in the footsteps of Virtus.Pro and using every last second of that reserve time.
10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds remaining. I don't have anything else to add. I've given my 2 cents, and we'll see how right I am. And I'm going to be very wrong. It is going to be a Shadow Fiend. So how Power Rangers is going to opt to lane this will be interesting because they've really got 3 mid heroes, Bat Rider, Treant, and Shadow Fiend. I like all in the mid lane. So we'll see. We'll see how they decide to do this. I don't know if they're going to try lane. This could end up being kind of a 2-1-2. Time will tell, guys. Time will tell. So welcome to game number 2. Power Rangers versus Virtus.Pro. Abaddon, EO, Darkseer, Gyrocopter, and Puck facing off against Bat Rider, Anti-Mage, Treant Protector, Leshrac, and the Shadow Fiend. Let's get onto our free camera here. And there we are. Going to go into our first strat pause. Nothing too crazy about that, but pretty normal. In most games here, it seems that teams are pretty comfortable with that opening pause. Get that little bit of strat session going down before they have to focus non-stop for the next 30 minutes or so. Team Power Rangers already with another DC. Looks like they're going to have a quick restart. Maybe that will help with their connection issues. We'll know very quickly in this game if they're having connection issues on par with yesterday. We'll know, I think, mostly by the last hit creep score in the first couple minutes. That will tell us if Power Rangers is getting completely out last hit and every lane, then you know that they're having some more lag issues. Yesterday we did actually have to do a remake to switch to a Luxembourg server, I think. I'm not sure where Power Rangers are from, but I guess there aren't great servers in their area. So yeah, as I said, the Virtus.Pro team is a little bit more predictable in how I think they're going to do their lanes, and I'm still excited to see how the Radiant are going to make this happen. I'm excited to see what they do with this Lesh. A roaming Lesh is always fun, always good to see. It'll be interesting to see how they build Lesh as well. That kind of standard build is the Edict and Split Earth primary up to level 8, but we've also seen in the past, and I'm going to say in the past because we don't see Lesh so often these days, you can go the Lightning Storm early build. That's kind of an old Chinese style of leveling up Lightning Storm as your primary and harassing. It does jump 8 times at level 4, which can prove to be quite the irritant in terms of harassing in lane and moving around and trying to set up kills in situations that aren't solo. So I see in chat again, thank you guys. Power Rangers are from Belarus. So I think it's safe to say there are no Belarus dedicated servers, which is a bit unfortunate for them, as it may be. So the unpause is going to commence, and we're going to start off here in game number 2. Okie dokie, so let's see if the lanes are actually going to go the way that I predicted. On the Dire side, they are not. They're going to be a little bit different here. Gyrocopter going to head up to the top safe lane, where he will be solo. In the mid, looks like Puck will be headed there. No big surprise. In the top, I guess I should go over who's playing what. Resolution going to be playing the Gyrocopter up in the top lane. In the mid, it will be God playing Puck. And in the bottom lane, that does leave us with NS on the EO. Light of Heaven going to be playing the little Darkseer there, and Go Black going to be playing the Abaddon. So is this going to be a tri-lane with a Darkseer and Abaddon as well as EO? This is sort of a weird grouping here, and I'm not sure how it's actually going to finalize. It looks like EO is going to head towards that top lane now, and may actually just help support Resolution. And stack the jungle, do all that standard stuff. So a Darkseer Abaddon off lane. I guess we'll have to wait for the game to actually get underway to see where they settle down. But as of now, these lanes are shaping up very interestingly, so to speak. Just a couple of seconds now from that first rune spawn, both sides camping out the respective top and bottom rune spawns, and it is going to spawn in the top. It looks like it will be an invisibility, and Resolution going to be the only person contesting, and that means Gyrocopter will move to be invisible the opening of this match. So on the Power Rangers side, we're going to have J4 playing the Lesh down here in the bottom lane on the Radiant Jungle. Moon going to be playing the Anti-Mage down here in the bottom also. It looks like Treant Protector, I'm not sure exactly what his name is, FNGGHKA. The blue Treant Protector going to be down here in the tri-lane as well. In the jungle, it looks like it's going to be Bat Rider. He wasn't pooled anything, just got one set of tangos sitting with 550 gold in the bank, and he's just going to start off in the jungle, which I think will be okay for him. He'll get off to a slow start, but generally with a jungling Bat Rider, you can score level 6 and your Blink Dagger at just around the same time, so there comes that moment, like the flick of a switch, when Bat Rider becomes a lonely little guy in the jungle to a scary opponent ready to pick up kills. So we'll keep an eye for that. ZXC on the Shadow Fiend, going to be going toe-to-toe against Puck in the mid lane, and that means that the top lane will be completely sacked. So at the laning phase, at least, almost a waste of an EO pick, a bit. Gyrocopter just going to be solo farming up here. Of course, Resolution going to be in free farm heaven. I'm sure he'll be quite happy. And at the moment, it looks like it is going to be an Abaddon Darkseer bottom lane here. Light of Heaven and Go Black. Just down in the bottom, trying to deny as much farm as they can against this anti-mage, and so far, it's going okay. Gyrocopter 8-1 to start things off, and last hits and anti-mage is 5-2. So Gyrocopter does have a little bit of an upper hand here, and he does have the solo experience as well. Anti-mage, of course, with 2 supports down here. They will be in the jungle. They're pulling right now to get a little bit of that lane control back, so they will take some jungle experience. But ultimately, anti-mage won't have the same experience level as this Gyrocopter, who is just completely solo, 100% free farming with the Wisp stacking and pulling in the jungle, doing all those things that our supports have come to love and enjoy. So in the mid lane here, we talked about Puck versus Shadow Fiend earlier on in match 1. They were both picked, but actually it wasn't the Shadow Fiend that went mid. And I was talking about how Shadow Fiend really works well against Puck in the mid lane. And whoa, there's going to be a first blood down in the bottom lane. The Tri lane's going to grab it. Abaddon will fall, and it is actually going to go to the hands of Lesh, who is going that lightning build. I do want to point out here, Lesh is level 3, 1 point in Split Earth, none in the Edict, and 2 in the Lightning Storm. And it's going to work out well for him to pick up that first kill of the game, and Anti-Mage going to be the one to grab that assist there, so that will help just give him a little bit of extra gold to start things off, and maybe that'll make up that difference, trailing by about 5 creeps behind the Gyrocopter. So anyhow, I do want to talk about the mid lane, Puck versus Shadow Fiend. Puck will have a little bit of an advantage at the beginning here before Shadow Fiend racks up those last hits, but now we're at that level 4, Shadow Fiend level 4, Puck 1 creep from turning level 4 himself, and they're tied up 12-6 on the Shadow Fiend, 12-2 on the Puck right now, and this is where things are going to start to get a little bit more tricky. Puck hitting for only 70, and Shadow Fiend getting close to that point where he's hitting for just about 90 on each auto attack and only has 17 souls, so that necromancy ability really just so effective in allowing Shadow Fiend to conquer the mid lane against a solo intellect hero who just doesn't have that raw damage for those big last hits. And Puck even doing everything he can to up that last hit damage, doing Null Talisman, 2 Iron Branches, and 1 Healing Salve. So even upping that auto attack damage more than what we would expect to see on a Puck in most cases. In this bottom lane, though, our Radiant side having a field day. Power Rangers is doing very well. It looks like they have fixed their lag issues, at least to a significant degree, because right now Lesh is doing a fantastic job just harassing both Light of Heaven and Go Black out of this lane. That Lightning proving to be a smart choice here. The range on it is great. He's able to move into the lane, cast it on one hero, and it just hops to another, and it keeps him harassed back and squishy enough, opening up absolute free farm for the Anti-Mage right now, and he really is in great shape. Anti-Mage's support going to roam up towards that bottom room, though. It's going to be a regeneration. Abaddon going to get caught. Abaddon's still level 1, and he is going to go toe-to-toe against the level 3 Lesh and the level 3 Treant Protector. He will be able to make it back to the tier 1 tower on the Radiant side of the mid lane and will survive. So this Abaddon not off to a good start. He has 0 experience at the moment. Abaddon level 1 with the Aphotic Shield and absolutely 0 experience. Darkseer was the one grabbing all that experience in the bottom lane. He's 1 creep from level 4, but it looks like Light of Heaven is going to head towards the top lane. I imagine he's going to be in the jungle, farming it up a little bit. Wisp here is level 3, continuing to stack and pull. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter and just now hitting level 6, and I believe Anti-Mage is going to be 6 in just a moment. Yep, about 2 creep kills until Anti-Mage hits that level 6 mark as well. About to ding level 5 in game 2 of the day, and only 1 kill on the board. Power Rangers is leading 1 kill to none. In terms of net worth, as we would expect, Anti-Mage and Gyrocopter leading the way, sitting around that 2,200 mark, 2,300 as they continue to rack up those last hits. Anti-Mage is leading the way by a small margin. Again, that is because of the bonus gold he got for the assist on that first blood. Anti-Mage, though, he is losing a little bit of lane control down in this bottom lane, and they are going to stack and pull once again, and he is going to get it back. So in a situation like this, where it's essentially carries free farming and the long lane sacrificed, there is an Abaddon here. He's gotten 1 creep's worth of experience now. When are they going to opt to push these lanes? We spoke in the last match about how pushing your short lane first can be a little bit of a double-edged sword, because once you push it, if you lose that lane control, it opens up a window of opportunity for your opponent to farm and get experienced way deep in their side of the map, and that can make it very hard to counter their farm. And if you go up there to get some of that juicy farm as well, you're very susceptible to ganks. So they need to choose that timing very cautiously. And here about that 6-minute mark is when we see them start to group up. They've gotten that initial bit of farm. They've gotten their initial round of core items. Our carries have hit level 6. And that's when they just want to push and they say, all right, gold is more powerful than raw lane control here. So there's going to be a push in the bottom lane as Anti-Mage, Lesh, and the Tree group up, and they've got their tower down to about 600 health. But don't be fooled, all the while Resolution in the top lane is pressuring the Radiant Tier 1 tower, and he's got it down to about 500 hit points as well. We haven't talked about Batrider much in this game. He's been having a pretty good time in the jungle. He does have a double damage rune that he did bottle up, and that's right, I did say bottle. Batrider is level 5. He's got Gray Boots, a bottle, a TP scroll, and Observer wards at the moment. So he's not going for that super fast, I'm going to rush blink build that I was talking about. You can sort of model around hitting level 6 for that interesting little timing window to grab some quick kills. He's going to go for a little bit more of a standard jungling build here, and he does have about 1,300 in the bank, so he will be able to grab that blink reasonably quickly here. We're going to see some kill exchanges in the mid lane. Darkseer, Shadow Fiend, and Puck are going to engage. They will be able to pick up a kill on the Shadow Fiend, but Lesh is going to come in and will be able to at least make it a 1-for-1 by grabbing a kill on the Wisp. Of course, Virtus.Pro coming out a bit ahead there, exchanging Wisp for Shadow Fiend. I'll take that exchange all day if I'm Virtus.Pro. Your squishy no armor support versus one of the scary carries solo mid of the opposition. Shadow Fiend now level 7, does have his power treads complete and a Wraith Band, so that is going to set him back a little bit, but he still is quite the scary adversary. Gyrocopter is going to grab that tier 1 tower kill in the top lane. That's going to give him about 2,000 gold to play with on top of his Phase Boots and Ring of Basilius he's already picked up, and it looks like there is going to be some support coming to this bottom lane as the VP tier 1 in the bottom lane is getting dangerously low, down to about 250 hit points, and Moon on the Anti-Mage is pushing up quite far here. He's now picked up his Ring of Health, his first Claymore, as well as his Grey Boots and Stout Shield, so he'll no doubt going to be going for the Battle Fury build on this Anti-Mage, and they are going to want to be pushing this tower reasonably quickly. A Glyph is still available for Virtus.Pro, so they could pose a defense here if they so choose. So looking at that gold chart, Virtus.Pro does have a little bit of an edge here, and they were actually behind on the farm, and that early tower kill has allowed them to break even and pull ahead by just a couple of pennies or so. Lesh going to be counter-warding a bit. That means our Power Rangers team on the Radiant side is going to take control of Rune Vision down here in the bottom side of the map. Going to throw down a sentry and clear up those wards. And here comes GoBlack on the Abaddon with another counter-ward. He's going to get a sentry and an observer for the cost of his one sentry. So both supports on both sides doing a great job here, but Virtus.Pro going to come out ahead with some counter-warding upon counter-warding action down at the bottom room and going to give them a little bit of map control. Actually, that's going to be the only ward on the map right now. We just hit that moment. We're about 9 minutes in where the initial set of wards have gone down and the supports have yet to put down new ones. So there is not a lot of vision about the map. There is a ward down for Virtus.Pro in the mid lane, going to give them some vision of the Shadow Fiend when he's uphill, and it's going to come in handy right here as they try to engage. Puck going to go in, Wisp going to tether as well. Wisp actually going to be the first to fall. Shadow Fiend going to walk away with about 20 hit points, and he is going to survive. So wow, Power Rangers really coming out ahead right there. And Puck may be in a little bit of trouble. Nope, he's going to be able to Illusionary Orb away near the bottom rune and get to his side of the river. So now Power Rangers leading 3-0, about 3-1, pardon me, about 3 minutes into this one-game series. While all that was happening, Anti-Mage did score that tower kill in their close lane for the Radiant side. That is going to tie it up 1-1. Both of the long lane towers have been killed for both teams. So, in the mid lane, this Shadow Fiend, really, I was going to say he's getting picked on, but he did do pretty well right there to be able to turn it around. It was a nice initiation from the Puck, EO, and Darkseer, but they just didn't have the damage to finish him off. Shadow Fiend is now level 8 and has picked up his Ogre Club, so he's got about 1,000 hit points already. He is actually fairly tanky here for only 10 minutes in, given that he is that squishy Shadow Fiend. Batrider's looking a little scary as well. He's now picked up his Blink Dagger to complement that bottle and boots. He is level 8, and he is ready to move around. He's actually smoked up right now, so he's looking for an opportunity to catch somebody and pick pick up an easy kill. It's always a scary moment when Batrider first grabs that blink and the other team hasn't seen it yet. That should open up a window of opportunity for the Batrider to catch him off guard and pick up a kill here. And uh-oh, he might be able to find it on Wisp. The Wisp is almost level 6. He's very low. No, he's going to use it on Light of Heaven. He's going to blink over the trees near the tier 1 in the mid lane. That's going to be an easy kill. Light of Heaven going to die before he even knows what's happening. That's what I'm talking about. The power of the Batrider with the Lasso and Firefly combo. That will result in a tier 1 tower kill for the Radiant side. Power Rangers now going to pull ahead 2-1 in total tower scores. Shadow Fiend going to grab that last hit. So that is great news for them. And we can't forget this whole time, Anti-Mage is just farming away, as is Gyrocopter. And he's actually going to take out a triple stack of Ancients here on the dire side of the map. And we'll get net worth. They are dead even. They are within 5 gold of each other right now on that net worth chart. So both heroes completely free farming. Gyrocopter, a few creeps from level 10, still working his way down this triple stack. It does have a Helm of the Dominator now to complement those phase boots, as well as a Ring of Basilius. Anti-Mage continuing to work on his Battle Fury. I think he may have a few more pieces. Are they on the Courier? Is that where they're at? Because he's got no gold, and there they are. He's got the Void Stone and the Broadsword on the Courier on the way. So that's about an 11-minute Battle Fury for Anti-Mage. That is fabulous. His farm is going to skyrocket. He should be able to overtake Gyrocopter a little bit here in the upcoming moment. Gyrocopter going to pull ahead by about 400 or 500 gold now, as he is going to clear up this triple stacked Ancients, and Lesh is actually going to stack the Radiant Ancients. So once Anti-Mage gets that Battle Fury, his farm speed should increase by a pretty significant factor, and we should see him start to overtake the power of the Gyrocopter. But in the top lane here, we may see some action. God on the puck going to be caught in sort of a weird position. And, yeah, he's going to go down. Shadow Fiend and Lesh going to sandwich him in the river. And the Treant Protector are going to come in with an Overgrowth to finish off puck. Shadow Fiend going to grab that kill. So now Power Rangers leading 5-1. Only 12.5 minutes into this first game. They're off to a hell of a start here. Leading by about 3,000 gold and about 1,500 experience. Lesh and Shadow Fiend are going to group up, and they're going to pressure this top tier 1 tower for Virtus.Pro. Their only remaining tier 1 tower at that. They did have an illusion rune that's going to help them pressure this a little bit. The Diabolic Edict from Lesh going to be used. It is only level 1, as he is leveling that Lightning Storm primarily. Level 6 Lesh right now does have his Grey Boots, a Bracer, and those standard support items, a Magic Wand, and some Observer and Sentry Wards. That tier 1 tower in the top lane is going to fall. No defense going to be brought to its avail by Virtus.Pro, again making it 3-1 here. Power Rangers leading in that tower score. That's going to boost them ahead by probably about 4,000 gold now as they're racking up these tower kills. This is one of the great things about the Shadow Fiend hard carry combo. In this case, Shadow Fiend Anti-Mage. Shadow Fiend had a great time in the mid lane. He is level 11. Him and Gyrocopter, the only 2 level 11s in the game. That means level 2 ulti, and they know that they're tilted. Shadow Fiend has control of the mid game right now, and all the while, Anti-Mage is just farming in the bottom lane. All 5 heroes of Virtus.Pro are grouped up about the top. They want to pose a defense at this tier 2 tower, and we're going to see 4 members from Power Rangers up here in the jungle, and they're going to move around. Uh-oh, Wisp going to port into a bad position. He's almost going to fall, going to get away with about 100 hit points to spare, just porting into a dark spot, and there happen to be a couple of Power Rangers members there. So it's a 5v4 in the top lane. Anti-Mage is all alone in the bottom. He's level 11 now, and he pushed that tier 2 tower all by his lonesome. Virtus.Pro needs to do something here. Anti-Mage now pressuring the tier 3. They can't leave him alone. Resolution going to hop in. He's solo right now. Anti-Mage versus the Gyrocopter. Anti-Mage isn't scared at all, getting some of those global heals from the tree. He's just going to chip away at these creeps with that Battle Fury, and now it's a 4v4 in the top lane. Power Rangers just continuing to clear these creep waves. Shadow Fiend flash farming away. And they're not going to overcommit, though. I think we're going to see Power Rangers back up. They're going to clear the VP jungle a little bit. And recognizing that they've come out way ahead in this exchange, they've been able to push that bottom tier 2 tower, now leading, is that 5 towers? No, that's 4 towers to 1. And, of course, Anti-Mage getting all that farm. They're more than happy. Anti-Mage and Shadow Fiend now leading the way on the net worth chart, and they're actually both ahead of the Gyrocopter, who was number 1 just a few moments ago. So those few tower kills shifting the tides a little bit in this match. Shadow Fiend now picking up his BKB. That's a 15-minute BKB to complement the Power Treads and Ring of Aquila that he's already got. I also want to point out Shadow Fiend does not have a bottle, which is a little bit different. He was solo mid, and I don't see a bottle on him unless it's on the Courier. Nope, it's certainly not. He's not crowing it. I think he did this mid lane without a bottle, and that is not standard and very impressive. Bat Rider, the one with the bottle here, he's going to move to the bottom lane. I think he's going to grab that 14-minute rune, which is an invisibility, and we did see Bat Rider pick up a kill with his last invisibility rune, and also that blink combo, so he may try and do it here. Pardon me, that was a smoke that he had last time. Still, an invisibility item. So we are going to see Bat Rider. Oops, got to shift the overlay there. So we're going to see Bat Rider with an invisibility. He's going to go straight in. I think Go Black on the Abaddon may be in trouble. Nope. You're going to choose a different target. Bat Rider now level 9 is cruising around it, and he's going to bump into Resolution on the Gyrocopter. Gyro going to get caught. He's going to get drugged right into a Shadow Fiend ulti, and that's going to be all she wrote. An easy kill on the Virtus.Pro hard carry right there. Shadow Fiend uses the BKB, and just it couldn't have been a better ultimate. That is a deadly combo. The lasso into a Requiem of Souls. Holy Toledo. That is bad news, Bears. So, Power Rangers still with control of this game. Shadow Fiend going to chip away at this tier 2 tower in the mid lane, and he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage to it before his team backs off. We do see Bat Rider continuing to control runes. He's now modeled up a double damage rune in that bottom lane. He's going to use it to farm away in the jungle. He does also have the recipe for the Force Staff picked up in his bank. So, pretty standard build there with the Bat Rider. He's going to ding level 10, and he's going to be close to having that Blink Dagger Force Staff combo. Of course, you blink in, initiate with the lasso, and then force stick yourself backwards into the Firefly and really pull people out of position. That item combo is really what makes Bat Rider such a deadly adversary. Anti-Mage is still farming in this bottom lane. He needs to be a little careful. He's exchanging blows with Resolution on that Gyrocopter. Wisp going to come in to support. And Anti-Mage going to be forced back. AM now has finished up his Vladimir's offering to go with that Battle Fury as well as his Power Treads. He is actually going to clear out a double stack here on the Dire Ancients. But, uh-oh, the Ancient's very low. Anti-Mage getting very greedy here. All the creeps were just a couple hits from left. A couple hits from dead. He thought he could make them and then blink out, but no, Resolution coming in. He's going to drop a flat cannon, and that's going to be the end of Anti-Mage. So a much-needed kill on the hard carry for Team Power Rangers. Anti-Mage executing absolute greed right there in the Dire Ancient. So that will give Virtus.Pro an opportunity. They want to group up, and they want some towers. All 5 of them here in the mid lane. They are going to pressure this tier 1. It's down to about half health. The glyph going to be used, and I think that may mean we'll see a defense from Power Rangers. A port from Shadow Fiend going to come in. He's going to be bold and go straight to the tier 1 tower. Going to start throwing some auto attacks. He's hitting damn hard right now. The rest of the team going to come in, and that tier 1 is going to be safe with just about half health. Virtus.Pro completely repelled here. It didn't take much. It really just took the presence of Team Power Rangers, and Virtus.Pro said, hey, we're not going to be able to take this team fight. We're behind by 7,500 gold right now, 3,500 experience. We got to get the hell out of here, and we're going to head back to our side of the map. Haste Rune going to spawn top, and I think Power Rangers will have first dibs on that bad daddy. They've also got a, looks like a triple stack of Ancients, or no, a 4 stack of Ancients here on the Radiant side, and Shadow Fiend is going to be able to pick those up. Shadow Fiend with an interesting pickup here is going to take a Mask of Madness to go complement his BKB and Power Treads. Usually we see Helm the Dominator come out as sort of a late item for Shadow Fiend when Lifesteal becomes a much more critical factor. The Mask of Madness, always a double-edged sword. It ups your DPS by a huge factor, but take a lot of extra damage, 30% extra damage. Shadow Fiend needs to be a little bit careful. It's going to make him have to think twice about positioning in these team fights. He doesn't have a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, so his mobility a little bit less than what we would expect, or what we would hope. Maybe not what we would expect. That wasn't the right word, but less than we would like to see on Shadow Fiend. Let's look at other item pickups, though. Bat Rider has now finished the Force Staff. We talked about him having the Blink already. Mechanisms are coming out. The level 11 Darkseer has now finished his mech, and does have another 1,300 gold in the bank. Still no mech for our Radiant side. Power Rangers slacking on that front a little bit. Treant Protector is working on it, and he actually just now going to get enough gold to buy that recipe. He does have the buckler and the headdress, and we'll be able to grab that recipe here in just a couple of moments. So that window of opportunity is closed for Virtus.Pro. Both teams now have mechs on the board. Puck going to make an item pickup here as well. That's quite sizable. Going to be able to grab a Blink Dagger, and that's really going to be Puck's first big item pickup this match. All he has are his Power Treads, Null Talisman, Bottle, and Magic Wand. So that Blink is going to be a huge item pickup for him there. We could see a little bit of action heat up in the mid lane. Virtus.Pro is all grouped up about their tier 2 tower. One of 2 remaining tier 2 towers. And we're going to see initiation. Puck going to go straight in. Going to try and catch the Treant Protector. Treant is going to take a lot of damage, but will manage to get the overgrowth off. He is going to be the first to fall in this team fight, but he got that valuable ability off. Shadow Fiend doing a lot of damage. He's going to be able to drop the Gyrocopter. And uh-oh, Anti-Mage is actually disconnected in this fight. That is bad news, Bears, for Team Power Rangers. They're running for the hills. They're going to make it back to their tier 1 tower. I think Shadow Fiend may pay the ultimate price. Indeed he shall. He's going to go down, and that's going to be a 1-for-3 exchange in favor of Virtus.Pro. There comes the pause. Finally. Oh, that is so bad for poor Power Rangers. Where's the Anti-Mage? He's farming in the top lane. His hero is just auto-attacking creeps, so I guess it could be worse. At least he's still farming despite disconnected, but they needed him in that team fight. Level 4, just about to be level 14 Anti-Mage with 1,900 gold in the bank, Battle Fury, and Vlad's. He's at that point now where he can hop into team fights in the tail end and get those weak heroes that are trying to run away with his blink, and that Mana Void, it does damage now. If he catches a hero with no mana, he can do a lot of AoE damage in those team fights, so having him disconnected there definitely contributing to Power Rangers losing that fight. The initiation started with BP. They hopped in, Puck using that new shiny blink, trying to shut down Treant Protector before he could get the overgrowth off. He managed to get it off, but the rest of the team crumbled. Without Anti-Mage there, they just didn't have the damage. Bat Rider not in the best position. Really, the power of Bat Rider is such that he can take somebody out of the fight before the fight even begins. If he gets engaged on, he doesn't get that blink off. He's almost forced to use that Force Staff. Oh man, forced to use that Force Staff defensively to be able to survive with the hopes of reinitiating. So in that fight, we didn't see Bat Rider really do the core Bat Rider thing that we've come to love and enjoy from Bat Riders all over the world. So we are still stuck in this pause. It is 11-5 here, 20 minutes into our second match of the day. Thank you for joining us on Dota Radio. Make sure you check us out at www.dotaradio.com to know when we're live. The embedded audio-only player will be on the site. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Please help us spread the word about Dota Radio. We like it. We think it's a good idea. We're hoping it'll catch on. If you like it, please, please, please. We would love some tweets, some Facebook shout-outs, anything you got. Tell your friends, tell your grandmother, or hey, just tune in. That works too. So, hopefully we'll get out of this pause in just a moment or two, and hopefully the Anti-Mage can come back. Again, Power Rangers is the team from yesterday that had a lot of connection issues, and they were basically forced to forfeit their match. They did play it, but the lag issues were so bad that they didn't do well, and it was a very one-sided stomp. So if Anti-Mage doesn't reconnect here, this could, well, will be, not could be, will be a big problem, I think, needless to say. Oh man, so this is the time when having a co-caster is great. You can just turn to him and be like, so, what do you want to see coming up? Sorry, Belarus Gaming trying to call, says one of the members from Team Power Rangers. So I guess they don't know what happened. They're not playing on a LAN setting. AMDC, and they don't know what happened. So they're trying to call him, figure it out. They know as much as we do. So far from what I've gathered by watching Team Power Rangers is that Belarus is not a country that has a very strong internet infrastructure, at least not quite where they are, because they just very unfortunate they have these DC issues. If you don't know where Belarus is, it's right near Russia, right near Latvia, Lithuania, borders the Ukraine and Poland, actually very close to Kiev. So, of course, Kiev, a very esports friendly city. So maybe, I don't know, Minsk, Belarus. Yes, Minsk. Or Minsk. So apparently the Anti-Mage is online, so at least that's something. He's online. Baby steps. Baby steps. I was just checking out Shiver's stream here to make sure, see if they had any info. Oh. So unfortunately, AM still hasn't reconnected here. Pauses really are the bane of live casting. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can't resume with the Anti-Mage DC'd. I'll also be curious to see what Anti-Mage opts for his next item choice here. He does have about 1,900 gold in the bank. We talked about how AM does have a Battle Fury, Vlad's, and Power Tread, so he'll have a choice to move into something else. I'm going to guess it's going to be a Manta. I mean, that's the standard kind of go-to anti-mage build, is to just grab that Manta style, as it adds so much survivability, lets you get out of things like the Dream Coil from Puck, which is quite valuable. So I think Manta is going to be his go-to item in this game. Definitely a hop and a skip above the BKB, as it may be. I do like the early Vlad's choice as well. It gives him that sustainability in lane. Always good stuff also. And now that it's 7-5 in this match, let's look at the gold graph. Oh, it hasn't updated from that last team fight. It still shows Power Rangers leading by 7,500 gold. Be interested when this resumes to see how that shifts, because PR still leading by a lot, but you know, don't count Virtus.Pro out of this game by any means whatsoever. One of the things about Wisp and that global presence that the relocate gives is his ability to you know, find those cost-effective exchanges in situations you wouldn't normally find it. Furion does that same thing as well. We've seen time and time again where fights engage and the team with the Furion doesn't get the hero exchange they're looking for, but Furion's able to port to another lane, take out one tower, sometimes two towers, and that shifts the whole economics of a fight. Yes, they lost the team fight, but they were able to score a couple of tower kills. And Wisp brings a similar flavor to the table, can do the same thing in a losing team fight, port somebody down to a tower, and they can clear it up very, very quickly. Not quite the same flavor as, or the same manner as Furion, because Wisp doesn't do the damage himself, but still a lot of potential there for Virtus.Pro. But quite the long pause. Not sure what to make of it. Always wonder in these pauses, is it like, when is it at the point where, hey man, we need to turn on some music because we've got nothing to fill with? I know as soon as I turn on music, it's gonna unpause and we're gonna get back in the game and it'd be like, oh great, we listened to 20 seconds of a song. Alright, well, let me open up. Woo-doo-doo. I got something for you. Okay. Well, we're going to cue up some tunes in the background here, guys. Let's get a little Oyster Head going on while we wait. Like I said, as a solo caster today, I don't have too much fill planned. Still no updates on where the Anti-Mage is and when he's coming back. Stay with us. The action will resume. Alright, we got an Anti-Mage back in the game, folks. Okay, folks, we've gotten unpaused here, so this is good news. Let me kill the music. My apologies there. I wasn't quite ready for the unpause. I knew that was going to happen, though, that we were going to come back and as soon as I turn on the music. Okay, so we are back in this game. Welcome back, folks. 20 minutes in, 7-5. Power Rangers leading against Virtus.Pro right now. Let's take a look at this gold graph, and it's completely plateaued. I guess that's the pause time here. I don't know. Funky things are happening with my graphs, so we'll take a look at in a moment how things are settling out. So at present, Power Rangers have a nice lead set up for themselves. They are leading how many towers to how many? They've only dropped 1 and they've taken out 4. So it is a 1-to-4 tower difference here with Team Power Rangers in the lead. Anti-Mage has his Battle Fury, Vladimir's offering, and has now picked up an Ultimate Orb. So going to be moving towards that Manta style with little to no doubt in our mind. Anti-Mage leading the way on the net worth chart. Second to him is that of Shadow Fiend, who now has his BKB, Mask of Madness, and Power Treads with another 1,600 in the bank. So plenty of options for him. Third on that net worth chart is the VP carry of Gyrocopter. He's now got the Black King Bar, Helm of the Dominator, Phase Boots, and Ring of Basilius. So he is farming nicely, but really on the gold chart here, Power Rangers has 2 carries for the price of 1. It looks like we may see some action down here in the bottom lane as Anti-Mage, the newly reconnected Anti-Mage, I should say, has been pushing away. He took out that Tier 2 tower quite some while ago, and it looked like he was going to try and set something up with the Bat Rider, who has, oh, by the way, finished his Force Staff to complement the Blink Dagger and Grey Boot. So this is when Bat Rider really starts to get scary, and these upcoming engages, we're going to pay close attention for Bat Rider to get some keen initiation. Anti-Mage going to pick up the double damage rune that spawns bottom, and he's going to head over to the Dire Ancients, but uh-oh, he's going to get engaged on. Puck, Abaddon, and Darkseer are here, and Io going to bring in the Gyrocopter, and it's going to be a 5v1 gangbang on top of the Anti-Mage, and down he goes. Nothing that he could do whatsoever, but a very greedy maneuver. The second time here, I think actually Anti-Mage has only died twice this game. He's 0-2-1. Both of them were at the Dire Ancients. A little bit of greed going there for our Anti-Mage. So I don't know. I don't know, man. You got to be careful when you're at your opponent's Ancients there, especially when there's a Wisp as well as a Puck. Puck dropped the Dream Coil, and he couldn't blink away. Nothing that he could do right there. The crowd control was enough. Now Bat Rider in hot pursuit. Wisp, Puck, and just Wisp and Puck trying to chase him down. They're going to get an auto attack off to cancel the blink, but still not going to be able to pursue for a kill. Shadow Fiend is pressuring that Tier 2 tower in the top lane on the Radiant side of the jungle, and he very well may get caught here. He's deep in Dire. I said Radiant. He's deep in the Dire side of the jungle. Puck is up here with the Illusionary Orb, and Virtus.Pro not going to be able to catch him. Not the best orb we've seen from God right there. Unfortunately, didn't quite direct it right to be able to catch up with the speedy Shadow Fiend. As I mentioned, Shadow Fiend has really no out. He does have a Mask of Madness, which makes him run more quickly, but he has no Blink and no Shadow Blade, so there is a lot of potential to pick on him a little bit. If they can get on top of him, that Mask of Madness is going to hurt more than it helps in terms of trying to run away. So, unfortunately, they do miss their opportunity. Moon on the Anti-Mage, though, he's still farming away in this bottom lane. He seems stationary right about that Dire Tier 2 tower, and they're actually going to clear out the Dire Ancients again, and that will clean it up a little bit. We have seen Gyrocopter using that Helm of the Dominator very well to take control of creeps and use them to stack the Ancients. So getting a little bit of cost effectiveness there out of that item, but Anti-Mage has been doing everything he can to try and shut him down. He's going to take another set of the Ancients there for the Virtus.Pro side of the map and keep them for himself. So we are now 7-6. Power Rangers still leading. Let's take a look at our gold graph, and it is plateaued for the most part. 7,500 gold lead they've still held on to, and about a 2,500 experience lead. Shadow Fiend still pressuring this top lane. He's been able to work this Tier 2 tower on the Dire side down to about 500 hit points or so. The Darkseer is up here trying to repel him, but there's only so much that Light of Heaven can do on the Darkseer to repel this beefy Shadow Fiend. Darkseer, of course, does have his mechanism, the Soulstream Ring, and has now picked up a point booster with 2,100 gold in the bank. I reckon he'll be moving towards that Og Scepter to make the Wall of Replica that much more effective. Uh-oh, Shadow Fiend going to get vacuumed in, though. He is going to finish off the tower. The initiation not going to follow up. Only Abaddon and Darkseer here, so not going to score the deny, and ZXC on the Shadow Fiend going to grab another tower kill, and that is going to make it 5-1 in towers. Power Rangers still leading the way with flying colors. Anti-Mage now, level 15. He's working towards that. Yasha decides he wants an Aegis of the Immortal. He wants to come back to life, and they're going to start pressuring this Roche. It's just him and Lesh right now. Roche falling very slowly down to about 60% or so, with Anti-Mage the only one chipping away. Virtus.Pro, however, has absolutely no idea. They've got no vision right now. Looking at the Virtus.Pro vision, they've got no wards up on the map. I don't see a single ward, so they have absolutely no map control. They've only got one Tier 2 tower remaining, so they've got no vision that that way. No access points. They will engage in this top lane, though. They're going to catch on the Bat Rider and the Shadow Fiend. Bat Rider going to fall very easily in a bit of a gangbang scenario. It's a 5 versus 2. Shadow Fiend trying to run. He's going to use that Mask of Madness to try and get away, but they're in hot pursuit. Puck going to blink forward. Does he still have the Dream Coil? Nope, does not. Used it in the last engage. And it looks like Shadow Fiend will be able to survive. So that Mask of Madness proving to be a bit more of an effective mobility tool than anything else at this point. That did also open up a window of opportunity to distract Virtus.Pro while Anti-Mage continued to pressure Roche, and Roche did fall. Now the Aegis of the Immortal in the inventory of Anti-Mage, and he now has the Manta-style recipe, just waiting on the recipe for the Yasha, about 500 gold off. Shadow Fiend trying to go toe-to-toe with Puck, and he needs to be careful. There's going to be some support coming his way. The vacuum going to be used. He's going to use the BKB and just try and pour it out, and he's going to make it with a few hit points to spare, down to about 150 HP from the dire jungle, and he is going to survive. So although it is all tied up 7-7 in hero kills, don't be confused. Power Rangers are way ahead right now. They've just breached that 10,000 gold lead mark as Anti-Mage continues to farm. Of course, that Roche kill and the huge tower lead. They're just ahead by every factor in this match. Let's take a look at other item pickups. What have we missed? The Treant Protector has now finished his mech. I think we mentioned that a couple minutes ago, but he has now also picked up a Gem of True Sight, so that will help in possibly contributing to why Virtus.Pro has no ward coverage about the map, because that gem makes it so much more difficult. We do see Abaddon here has now picked up a Sange, and I reckon that'll be moving into Heaven's Halberd to try and shut down the power of this Anti-Mage, as well as the power of the Shadow Fiend. Either of them are going to be great targets to disarm, so that's going to be a good item pickup. A very much needed one here, I think, in this case, based on how farmed this Anti-Mage truly is. He now has the Manta style complete that we talked about a few moments ago, but uh-oh, in the top lane, Shadow Fiend, buddy, you're going to walk right into disaster. He's going to try to move into the dire jungle for a little bit of farming, and he's going to bump into Resolution, NS, as well as God, and it's going to be a 3-on-1 gangbang again. Poor Shadow Fiend not going to be able to make it out so easily that time. Wisp and Gyrocopter moving all over the map now, using that relocate to head to the mid lane. It looks like Virtus.Pro does want to start clearing out these towers. They want to pressure that tier 1, but they're not going to be able to. Anti-Mage in the bottom lane. He finishes off the tier 3 Light of Heaven on the Darkseer, the only one repelling the Anti-Mage. And this Anti-Mage now attacks fast, he attacks hard, and he's got illusions to help him out. So he does take out that tier 3 tower and moves into the Dire Ancients again. It's like he's got a cycle here, rinse and repeat. Push the lane, pressure the tower, take the Ancients. Pressure the lane, pressure the tower, take the Ancients. And now he's just going to hop over the wall, move into the Radiant jungle, clear up the creep pull and the camp closest to the river, and rinse and repeat. He'll be back in that lane farming up. Great plays coming out from Moon on the Anti-Mage, really capitalizing on his farm. We did miss an exchange of kills here, as I think Bat Rider was taken out. Did he die? No, he did. He killed Io, pardon me. So they did catch the Wisp in the jungle. Very easy kill for the Bat Rider using the lasso and the Firefly. Of course, the Blink and the Force stuff that we talked about. And we are going to see Bat Rider move into a BKB. He does have the Ogre Club and the Mithril Hammer. And, well, going to be working on that recipe. A huge item pickup has been made, though. I feel like we need to have a soundboard ready so that we can go dong, 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 dong when this item is picked up. A Divine Rapier has made it onto the field. Gyrocopter has picked it up. Resolution says, hey guys, we're behind, we're up against the ropes, and we need to make this happen. We've got a Divine Rapier on the field, and this is our chance to shine. It's make it or break it time. We lose the next team fight, it's over. So they are officially all in right now. Virtus.Pro keeping us on the edge of their seat. I'm so pumped to see what they can do with this Divine Rapier. Roche not going to be up for a while. The Aegis will be reclaimed in about 2 minutes, so they need to be extra special careful. They're not going to have the Aegis to fall back on if Gyrocopter falls. Anti-Mage now, I think he did just pick up, did he pick up a new item? He's got no gold in the bank. Yep, he just picked up the Skull Basher, so I imagine that will be moving into an Abyssal Blade. That's going to be my guess here. So Anti-Mage just continuing to get more and more powerful. Virtus.Pro, though, this is it. They're going to group up. They're finally going to start pressuring these towers. They're going to go bottom, and they're going to clear this Tier 1 tower. Of course, it's going to fall like wet tissue paper. Gyrocopter hitting for almost 500 each auto attack. To complement that Divine Rapier, he does have the BKB and the Lifesteal. They're going to port back. Wisp's going to bring him back. Abaddon going to initiate, and they need to be very careful here. Again, this fight is the fight. They lost their Tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Abaddon going to get caught. He's going to be the first to fall before the fight even starts. Virtus.Pro not off to a good start in this what could be the last fight of this game. Looks like Power Rangers are going to group up. They're going to pressure this Tier 3 in the mid lane. The Tier 3 tower taking a lot of damage. No glyph up for Virtus.Pro. There's the initiation, and uh-oh, it's not going to work. Bat Rider going to be in some trouble. He's not going to be able to make it happen the way he wants. Gyrocopter with the BKB on. He's doing a ton of damage. No one from Power Rangers has fallen quite yet, but they are in trouble. They're going to be forced back. A couple heroes in the red. Treant Protector will invis to get away, and oh, the Tether going to catch him as he tries to port. He's still stuck here. He may make it out yet. Treant with less than 100 HP. He's invisible, but they can't see him. They know he's around. And he doesn't have another port, though, so he's going to be stuck. A very strange engage. Abaddon on Virtus.Pro, the only one to go down. He got caught in odd position, and after that, neither side fell. So although Gyrocopter did do a hell of a lot of damage with that BKB on, and they did keep their Tier 3 tower in the mid lane safe. It's down to about 600 HP, or pardon me, 800 HP. They do still have the glyph. They do repel the push, but unfortunately do not secure any kills. So Virtus.Pro still in a very dangerous position. Basically, all they were able to do was grab that Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but they did have to pay the ultimate price for their last remaining Tier 2 tower. So they're now down 7 towers to 2. Of course, Power Rangers still ahead, but only leading by 1 kill. 9-8 here, 32 minutes in. It doesn't feel like it. This has been an action-packed game despite only 17 kills in about 32 minutes. No complaints from me right now. Power Rangers leading by 15,000 gold at the moment and about 10,000 experience. So they're still in a great lead here. Let's take a look at that item chart to see if anything else has popped into the inventories of any of our friends. And indeed they have. ZXC on the Shadow Fiend now going to grab a Daedalus to complement that Mask of Madness, BKB, and set of power treads he's got going for himself. So he's starting to hit very, very hard, about 250 on each auto attack. And it's just going to get worse when he starts to crit. Darkseer did pick up that Og Scepter as well that we mentioned a couple of moments ago. He was probably going to be working on. Virtus.Pro going to group up. They want to pressure this Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Again, it's going to fall very quickly. The glyph going to be used. There's initiation. Lesh going to catch Gyrocopter before he can get the BKB off. Gyrocopter going to fall. It's on the ground. Who's going to grab the Divine Rapier? I don't know who has it. It's Chaos in the mid lane here, but Virtus.Pro getting cleaned up. It's going to be a 4-for-0 exchange. Where did the Divine Rapier end up? It's in the inventory of Anti-Mage. Oh no. Virtus.Pro's worst nightmares have come true. Puck going to buy back. Now Puck and EO, the only two left for the repel. Let's check at the buyback status. No one with buyback other than Puck. He's going to use it. This Tier 3 in the mid lane going to fall. There is a glyph available. I don't even know if they're going to burn it. Anti-Mage hitting like a Mack truck right now. 140 base plus 400 in additional damage. The glyph going to be burned. Delay the inevitable here. The mid lane of Rack's going to fall. Puck going to shoot an orb out, and he will blink away, just trying to bide a little bit of time. Abaddon going to be the next up, but Gyrocopter not going to pop up for another 20 seconds. Virtus.Pro not going to tap out quite yet despite losing their mid lane of Racks. Their bottom lane of Racks going to fall momentarily here as the rest of the team pressures the top. The top goes down as Anti-Mage just cutting through everything. He is unstoppable at the moment. Looks like he did burn the Aegis in that last team fight, and that did open up an inventory slot to be able to grab the Divine Rapier. So actually dying and burning the Aegis in that last fight, working out very nicely for them. Virtus.Pro now going to lose all their barracks. Mega creeps coming out for Team Power Rangers. And they're just going to move into the Tier 4 now. Just cleaning it up. Shadow Fiend actually getting a triple kill here. That Daedalus Mask of Madness combo proving super effective. And Anti-Mage going to pick up 1 kill. That's going to put him on a killing spree. Anti-Mage actually going to end this game 3-2-4 despite having a Divine Rapier in the inventory. The GGs come out. The Tier 4s fall, and that's going to be the throne. So an interesting game. Not many kills on the field, but Power Ranger is going to be able to take Virtus.Pro 17-8. In a 34-minute match with a Divine Rapier out. Virtus.Pro unfortunately not going to take this one, but you got to give them bonus points for pulling a Divine Rapier out. Hats off to you, sir. Very exciting. So we do have one game left, guys, and the third match of the day is the most exciting one, I think. Virtus.Pro versus Poseidon, a.k.a. new Virtus.Pro versus old Virtus.Pro. So we're going to see our old friends here, Go Black, Resolution, God, Light of Heaven, and NS. Coming up in game number 3 of the day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Dota Radio, guys. And we got one more game coming up here in our 3-game series of Starladder Season 7, Day 6.